One of the next questions a hiring manager will ask you is about your qualifications. What makes you think you're a good fit for the job and the company? The hiring manager has already read your resume, so he or she is not interested in hearing you repeat that information. The hiring manager wants to evaluate your self-confidence in your ability to meet and exceed the responsibilities for the job. If you don't believe you have the skills and competencies needed to excel in the job, then why should the interviewer? If you don't have the passion to support the company in its mission, then why should the company hire you? This is another open-ended question. If you are a recent graduate, then it will be important to show how your education and experiences match the position. But the more jobs you have had, or the longer you've worked at a single job, the less likely a hiring manager will care about your schooling. No amount of educational success can take the place of solid work experience. If you're switching careers, then it will be important to show how the skills you've learned will transfer to the new position. If you're coming back to the work world after some time away, then it will be important to show how your life skills have prepared you for the responsibilities of the job. The question is similar to the "tell me about yourself" question, in that you should be well prepared for it. Prepare carefully before going to the interview. Each job advertisement lists the requirements and duties of the posted position. Select what you believe to be the top 3 competencies and be sure to speak to each in your response. Remember, the interviewer has one underlying question. What do you bring to the company that will make you the best possible fit for the job? So, show them that you are well informed and the best candidate for the job. Let's see how John does with this question.
I think my experience in project management, my ability to make timely, data-driven decisions, and my ability to communicate effectively to both partners and to leadership is what sets me apart as a candidate. My MBA from the Smith School focused on financial services and project management. So these are 2 areas that I've been interested in for some time, starting with my internship in Baltimore. And that was my first taste of project management in both finance and IT, and I loved it. From there, I've supported development and implementation of financial services and IT projects at each company I've worked for, which led me to where I'm at now, managing a couple of complex multi-million-dollar projects. Second, I understand that UnitedHealth is looking for someone who has experience making data-driven decisions. And this is something that I'm deeply engaged with at my current position. Basically, I'm responsible for analyzing data from our partners and then determining what our priorities are based on this information. Last month, I actually had to refocus one of our strategies on a deliverable due to some new information that could have put the company at some risk. And that was a real success for us. Lastly, my skills as a communicator match UnitedHealth's need for someone who can communicate with senior leadership. Over my 5 years in the industry, I've strived to improve my communication ability because I think this is a key component of working in a team. When I'm reporting information to my supervisors and to the board, I'm careful to provide clear and concise information. I also try to give an update on the status of client satisfaction and progress on our deliverables. At the same time, I'm candid about any challenges we might be facing, and I always have a list of solutions ready to go to meet those issues. These are the qualifications I bring to the table, and it's how I see myself helping UnitedHealth's goal of helping people lead healthier lives as well as drive innovation.
Thank you, John. Let's examine the strategy John uses to answer this question. He starts by speaking directly to the needs of UnitedHealth financial services and project management and expressing his passion for the field and his personal drive for success. He speaks directly to the requirement for experience in making data-driven decisions and explains that his current job requires that same skill set. This not only highlights his understanding of the position and its requirements, but also shows his due diligence in preparing for the job interview. He adds a nice touch in pointing how a recent decision allowed his current company to sidestep a difficulty. In his final point, he emphasizes his understanding of communication competencies and how he sees himself as fit to meet those responsibilities. Let's look next at John's language and pragmatics. John is dressed very professionally and appears comfortable. Surely he may be nervous, but as he is well prepared, he appears to be natural and relaxed. His body posture is open. Take a closer look. His arms are not crossed. He is not nervously playing with his fingers or hands. Instead, he sits comfortably yet professionally and attentive in his chair. He also uses natural gestures. While gestures are often linked to culture, they're good to use. You can use your hands to emphasize a point, for example. Generally, the right hand is usually used to signify that you're giving out information, while left hand gestures indicate your readiness to receive information. Also, open palms show openness and honesty, so try not to interlock and clench your fingers. Overall, however, try to keep your actions smooth and natural. Don't overdo or force hand gestures or risk distracting your interviewer. Only use hand gestures you're comfortable with and that add to your point. Then, let's take a look at language John uses. You may have noticed that John uses several collocations. Let's list them here. What sets you apart as a candidate? What makes you unique? For John, it was his unique combination of skills and experience. Your first taste of something, the first time you experienced something. For John, it was the first time he experienced managing a project. To be deeply engaged with something, to be very involved with something, very active in doing something. For John, he is deeply engaged in his current position with data-driven decision-making. To be candid about something, to be open, to speak honestly about something. John says he's candid about challenges this company faces. To bring something to the table, to provide something that will be a benefit. John talks about the qualification he brings to the table, meaning what he has to offer United Health. A first taste and to bring something to the table are idioms, meaning figures of speech that are not taken literally. They're used more in spoken than in written or formal English. You may be asking whether it is okay to use idioms in job interviews. Is it okay to use informal English? The answer is yes and no. If you're familiar and comfortable with idioms, you may certainly use them. However, as with hand gestures, do not force idioms into your speech. If you're comfortable and confident in using idioms and use them in your everyday life, then go ahead. Idioms can help you sound natural and relaxed, so they are okay to use. Watch John answer again. You will see that the idioms he uses combined with his body language create a comfortable yet confident and professional impression. To learn and practice more idioms used in business, check out the worksheets attached to this lesson.